G'day, welcome back to another episode of TOGL. Slightly different start to most of them. It's now about 9:30 at night. I've been watching over the last few days. Some of you might have noticed about a week ago. I say a week ago from when you're watching this, because I only just released a video tonight, which was last week's one. There was a big hole in the corona of the sun or something a couple of days ago. Anyway, what it does is that tends to send a lot of radiation through. A couple of days after that event happens, that's when you have the best chance of seeing the northern lights, if you're up in the northern hemisphere, or Aurora australis here if you're south. So sometimes if it's strong enough, people can see it from Victoria. My mate Jared took some beautiful photos a couple of weeks ago when there was a big aurora from down in Victoria. But yeah, the index is going off at the moment, and so I thought, right, I'm going to grab the camera gear, I'm going to head up to the block. I've scoped out a few places on the block where it looks like there's a pretty good vantage point to be able to view south, because you need to be looking south. And the further south you are, the better. So we're up in the northwest. We don't see it anywhere near as often or as bright as what they will see it over on the east coast and south of Hobart and those sorts of areas. Some of the photos the people down there get are just incredible. Anyway, there have been some good photos, as I said, of late up in the northern parts of Tasmania and even as far as Victoria. So we're going to get up there, we're going to see what we can see, and hopefully I might get some good photos. So fingers crossed, and in the next couple of seconds it'll either be me saying, yeah, it didn't work, or it's going to be some beautiful photos of Aurora australis. Let's see how we go. Big brush-tailed possum, big black one. Most of the ones around here are really dark colour. Right, well, this little rise right here is where I'm going to set up. We're facing due south, and I think this will probably give me my best chance of seeing the aurora if it happens tonight. So it'll be lights out and let our eyes adjust. I've got a nice thick jacket, I've got a hot pot of coffee and a beanie and everything else, so yeah, try and stay warm because it is pretty cool. A light little bit of cloud I'm hoping burns off. There was no cloud at all down the coast. So this is the app I use on my phone. It's called Aurora. At the moment it is saying index is 3.33, 1% chance of seeing the southern lights in your current location. And if we look at the map, so what we're looking at here is, this is where the aurora should be visible from. Now, if I zoom in, I've been watching this grey zone drift up this way for about the last hour and a half. It started off right down here below and it's slowly coming up. The green is getting closer as well. And it won't let me zoom in any closer, and unfortunately you've got the reflection off the screen if I move like that. So that little blue dot there, that's where we are. And so we're right on the edge, but I'm hoping that as the night progresses, all these colors will keep pushing up further and further. So let's see what happens. Well, as you can see there, the Aurora is already waning and no chance of seeing it now. So yeah, I didn't get to see it, unfortunately. The grey literally just got to where we were and then it just started to recede back again. So no luck on seeing the Aurora tonight, unfortunately. I'll have to try again another night. Well, unfortunately there was no luck filming that Aurora last night. It just wasn't meant to be. So I'm going to have to try that another time. I did, however, get to film this next bit of cool footage on the way home. So I hope you enjoy this bit. So this is a tawny frogmouth owl. Technically not an owl, they're actually a nightjar, but we just call them tawny frogmouth owls. They're one of the 3 most common species here in northwest Tassie, probably the most common of those 3. We also have barn owls and we have boobook owls, also called mopokes. But these tawny frogmouths are the ones that I see the most of around here. The next morning we went out to EcoFest. It was smaller than we thought it would be, but we still got some really good information out of it. We bought a couple of red currant plants as well, and we had a good time out there. But yeah, thought it would have been bigger. Maybe next year it will be.
Thank you. Now we've got a bit of a treat. We're going to hear from our 2 marimba players, Maureen and Sheila, and we're going off to Hawaii now.
Well, I just thought I'd show you one of these wasp traps, the European wasp traps. Our friend Matt sent us some of the Vespex syrup and 1 wasp trap, and I've created several other wasp traps. This one's created out of a bottle, but you'll see how well this liquid works. Now, I only filled this up a day or so ago and it is full of wasps. Absolutely full of wasps. They love this stuff. So thanks again, Matt, because I've got several of these set up, and between all of those we are catching hundreds. Anyway, yeah, so we're back up on the block now. We went to EcoFest this morning. There was some really interesting stuff out there, and we did get some really good information out of it as well. Also bought a couple of red currant plants. I had a nice cup of hot mulled elderberry cordial, I guess it was. That was really nice. And we've just come up to the block now. We've got to plant those red currant plants, and Kay's doing some harvesting. So let's go and see what she's picking at the moment. You're picking the beans at the moment?
Yeah.
Well, those cucumbers are getting some good size in them. That's good. Here's some new broccoli and stuff, Brussels sprouts that we planted only just last week. You can see these older Brussels sprouts plants. They've got Brussels sprouts in there on the stalks. So we might get a harvest of them at some point. Onions are looking good. There's some big ones growing up in there. I can see a zucchini over there that needs to be picked. There's probably more. We might even get some beans off those beans too, but these were the butter beans. So we've let them grow really big, and what we're going to do is we'll break them open and actually take the seed out of it, and then that seed will go into soups and stews and that sort of thing. Now some of these corns are ready to pick. You can see this one here, it's still got quite soft hairs that come out there, but this one's all dry and brown, so that's ready to be picked. So that's a corn cob that's got to come off. You wait until all those little hairs die. You can see several others in there I need to go and grab as well. I'm going to open that one I picked. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Really nice. We'll have some of that for dinner tonight. Yummo. Let's go and have a look at some of the others. Those carrots, I reckon we'll be picking some carrots. Well, we probably should pick some carrots today actually. Thin them out a little bit. We've got more spinach growing in there that we've just put in. So see, there's another one that's pretty close to, I reckon. Might just give that another couple of days yet.
I think that some of them are still a little
Yeah, a little skinny. See, that's died off, but you can feel that it's skinny there, so you'd still let that go a bit more. You're looking for those nice fat cobs. And our pumpkin plant, it's going really well in there. It's going right across here, out to there. And there's some little flowers starting. But we're getting close to winter now, so I don't know whether they've just got too late.
Sister planting, I don't like it because the pumpkins aren't getting enough sun.
Exactly.
They've got flowers on them, but they're not getting any fruit.
Yeah. Yep, so we'll go back to a normal method of planting next time, I think. I mean, they all grew together, but they obviously didn't do as well as they could have done. Okay, just picked a nice carrot out of there. So that's good. They are looking pretty good. We'll pick a couple more.
Nope, that one just
Snapped
broke
off.
It's a big fella.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is a big one, yeah.
No, I just can't get it out. I don't know how I'm going to get that out.
Okay. Yeah, need to dig deeper. There he is, yeah.
It wasn't
Nice
a big
carrot.
fella, it just snapped.
Yeah, good size. I mean, it's not necessarily that long, but it's it's nice and fat. So that's good. Oh yeah, there's a couple more. They're nice carrots. Nice young carrots. So we'll pick a few more of them. Might go and have a look at the zucchinis. Let's go and see if there's some zucchinis to pick. I saw at least one. Yeah, there's a nice zucchini there. That's ready to come off. A few other baby ones in there as well. There we are, nice zucchini. We've got these other zucchinis too in here. Oh yeah, they need to be picked. They're a different sort, but we had some the other night. They're really nice as well. Yeah, there's a lot of small beans on there, but I think they still need to wait another week or so. And capsicums and chilies are doing well. Got a lot of these habaneros on there. And let me see if I can show you these blueberry tomatoes as well. Because, oh, Kay's got another big carrot, yep. So here we go. So these, as I said, the blackberry tomatoes, when you turn them up, see how they're red underneath? That's what you're looking for. Is for them to be red like that. So they will get darker red as well. But they're really nice tomatoes. But yeah, you look down from top, they still look dark. Flip them over, there's where your colour is. We've got a lot of them in there. And Kay put a new lot of peas in. My God, look at them all. There'll be lots of peas growing. Also good to see we're still getting a few raspberries. Nice bunch of raspberries right there. There's a few others scattered around. They still need another couple of days yet though. Want them nice and deep red. Alright, well, next task of the day. Firstly, I'm just up here in the top cow paddock and you can see there's that white gravel. Pretty much runs out just behind me. So that's about as far as we got was to there. But that's all we really needed for the moment. Now up here on this hilltop, I need to move these logs. So I've got to pick these up one at a time with the straps and the tractor and take them down to the mill. Because we've actually got a little project that we're going to be utilising up here on the top. Just on this little pad here, which is reasonably flat. I mean, it's got a bit of a slope to this direction, but it's definitely nowhere near as steep as say as that over there. So yeah, now I'm not going to tell you what that project is just yet, and actually might even position up here a little bit, but in the next couple of weeks you will hear all about it, so stay tuned for that one. But for now I've got to get those logs, and it's bloody cold and windy up here, so I might even end up putting my beanie on because my ears are getting cold. That's what happens when your ears stick out. Alrighty, I've got to get these logs moved. Just moving the last log now. Kay's up the top here mowing. She did a bloody good job down there on that other part. And I've left the longest log until last because this is going to be the most challenging. Kay and I are just walking up along the top road here where we've had that gravel put, planting some seeds along the edge, trying to get that slope just over here with a little bit more foliage on it, try and hold it all together. Anyway, I was just walking up along the road edge here checking and came across this most amazing fungi. Check this out. So I'm going to have to do some research and see what sort of fungus this is, because that just almost looks alien-like. It's very cool. It's the first time I've seen that growing here on the block. And it's growing right at the base of a big gum tree. Okay, so the last thing for this video is I want to make some beeswax foundations to go into the beehive. So what I'm doing is on the stove on a very low heat, I've just got some of the wax that I rendered out of that honeycomb that we got the other week, and just break that into pieces and popping that in and melting that down. You want to do it over a very low heat because you don't want to boil it or burn it. Some people will do it over a water bath. I'm quite happy just doing it over the hot plate on a very low heat. So we'll get this melted down and then I'll show you how we make these foundations. Okay, so now that this is all melted nicely, this is our silicon mold. Comes in 2 pieces and it's got the imprint of the honeycomb. So what we need to do, and I'm still learning this, is just pour the wax on there like that, and then roll that down. A bit like when you're putting a sticker on to get all the air bubbles out, and let that sit like that. Now I'm actually going to build a timber frame for this to sit in. At the moment I'm just using this baking paper to stop any of that excess wax going anywhere. So now I've just got to wait for it to set. So that'll just take a few minutes. See, it's already setting there on the side, but I want to see all this outside stuff set. Apologies for all the traffic noise, we live on a fairly busy road at the moment. Another reason we want to get to the peace and quiet of our block. Okay, so now that this is set, we can start to peel this back very gently. You can see it was a little thin there and a little thicker in parts, but I'm still getting the hang of this, and the bees won't mind. It's still going to make a good foundation. So then we just need to peel it off the other piece. Sometimes if it's a little thin, it gets a little difficult, but as long as we peel that off, and it's still quite pliable because it's soft. And there we have a piece of foundation. Now what you can do whilst it's still soft, you can actually roll them up. Put a wick on one end and roll it up and make a candle. So that's something that we'll probably do at a later stage. But right now, I need these to be nice and flat because these will go into the beehive for the bees to make their honeycomb on. And that's the process of making your own foundation. Quite simple, just takes a little bit of practice. And these excess bits, let's pop them back in the pot to melt down and get ready to do the next one. Okay, and that's that process. So as you can see, a really nice thin piece of foundation. with all that lovely honeycomb shape on. You can actually see through parts of that, it's so thin, but the bees will work on that, and that's fine. So that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. A couple of different things there. I need to make a few more of these to get ready to prep up the beehives, get them through their winter. But hope you stay safe, have a great weekend, take care, and I'll see you next Friday. Cheers.